Indianapolis is a big, small town, and that's what I really like about it. It's big enough where you have things to do. There's different people to meet. We have the amenities and resources of a big city, but the people make us feel like a small town in a good way. Like people aren't, like in your business in like the gossipy way, but it's like you can count on and rely on people, and people are generally very nice and supportive of everything.
We're good? You all ready? You good? Ready? Good. All right, ready? All right.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Piece, your place to discover the untold stories of Indianapolis. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is The Open Door, a monthly series where we literally open the door to the studio and sit down with members of the community here in the city to talk about whatever is on their hearts. If you want to learn more or you're interested in participating, head to conversationpiecepod.com and click on The Open Door. And last but not least, shout out to Life in Indy and the team over there for sponsoring this series. Without further ado, we're going to get right into it. My guest today is my good friend, Bo. Bo Turner, thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
100%. I am going to provide a little bit of context. We had someone that unfortunately could not make it today, and at about 11 a.m. this morning, I was thinking, who could I message who might be available? And Bo happened to be the person.
Yes, I'm glad I was on that roster.
Well, I feel like you do a lot of things, so the fact that you did have some time, I thought was great. So I was just really appreciative that you were available for that. For folks who are listening or watching right now who don't know who you are, do you mind sharing just a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Bo Turner. I was adopted from China when I was 1 and grew up in Terre Haute, Indiana. Now I'm in Indianapolis.
Boom.
Do some random things. Right now I'm doing like in-person dating events around Indianapolis. Do some different social media stuff. I'm kind of consulting. And then also my husband and I like have a Airbnb business. But yeah, it keeps us busy. I like having a bunch of random things going on and different projects. Oh, I also like drive the handlebars during the summer. So I'm excited for that season to pick back up again. It's a lot of fun.
I've had the great privilege and joy of running into you while you were driving the handlebar while I was going to Needler's one day. And I was like, oh, from my car window.
That was great.
Hilarious. So generally, we have people kind of share a little bit about what they are going to be coming in to talk about. But because this happened so last minute, I'm not really sure what you might have on your heart at the moment. So, Bo, what do you want to talk about today?
I've really been into thinking about like... Well, okay. So I have a few things that I like to look into more. Well,
you're good. We got a good editing machine.
I know.
His name is Mike.
We love Mike.
Actually, his name is Patrick.
We love Patrick.
Mike does the physical editing. One of the things, so we randomly got connected a long time ago for adoptee stuff.
Yes.
And then we randomly got connected again for social media stuff. And then after we met for social media stuff, I'm like, well, maybe it's web stuff. And then I come to find that you just do all manner of things, which did not include the dating stuff, the dating thing that you've been doing with Find, but now does include that. So I'm kind of curious, like, what led a married person to set up a dating system here in Indianapolis?
Yeah, I am a person of experiences. I love going to events and experiences. I always like to think of like, how did this person or this group of people put on these festivals or events and things? And I've always wanted to be a part of that, of like creating those things. But I tried doing that. I owned a food truck park for like a year and a half in Terre Haute, and that was very big scale event planning. And I realized very fast that I am not a festival planner. It's one thing to get 40 people to an event, but we need to get 400 or 4,000. That's a certain type of person that I am not. But so with that, I love experiences, and I also love love. I mean, that's the truth of it. I wanted a way to support my single friends in Indy. They have been on the dating apps and just they're okay. Like they're kind of see the same people, similar instances of going on dates or people just not responding. And I saw these fun events in Los Angeles and New York about like dating events. And I kind of wanted to go to them just because they looked like fun events in general. Sure. I was like, I want to have like a dinner date with random people. But so I was trying to think is there anybody in Indianapolis that's doing it? And is there space for in-person dating and a demand for it? So started Find in September of 2024, and it's been going really well. We primarily host speed dating events, but also do like single socials that are mixer types of events. And then once a quarter do a really big pitch a single friend event. And we're gearing up for that into February.
Yeah, I got to get a single friend of mine into that, even though he's denied it multiple times. How quickly did you realize the demand was there? I feel like that's something that obviously that's what you think about for any business, but like, how quickly did you realize, okay, there's something that could be ongoing and maybe it's not just like a one-off fun event that we throw?
Yeah, it really was probably our first event that we had. I was expecting to get, my goal was like 30 people there, and we got around 50 people. We sold out of that event pretty early on. We still had about a week or so to go, and I was already sold out. So that was really encouraging. And then just kind of planning more events and testing the age ranges and seeing who shows up to what event. And whenever those events had been selling out in advance, I would say at least 1 or 2 weeks in advance, was able to open up more events and also get a little bit of creative in trying to say, like, if, speed dating is not your vibe, then how can we incorporate some other local businesses, some activities in the singles space. So we did like a pasta making one, pickleball, did a wine night, and we have some events that I'm actually planning for the summer that are outside events, like a hiking singles events and a swing dancing one. So yeah, just really like providing like different interests and hobbies for people to meet other people.
Yeah, all across the spectrum of experiences, I feel like.
Yeah.
I love that. Is there so you started this because it was partly because it was an avenue to help your single friends connect with other people. You've seen the experiences they've had on dating apps. Then you see this demand. And now you've been doing this for
about 6 months.
6 months. So maybe this is not enough time to pick up on trends. But is there anything single folks in Indy are looking for specifically that you're like, oh, we gotta help amplify this? Or like single people that are watching that have not attended need to know?
The best thing to know is that there are people that want to meet in person, and the intentionality is really good to see. It's like people are showing up, they're getting out there, they're spending an evening coming to this event and interacting with people. I was a little nervous, like sometimes whenever I'm at an event, I might see like in the beginning when people are like kind of in middle school dance. Middle school dance, guys and girls. I go, oh no, what's gonna happen? But once people like get a drink in them and we've started the event and they understand what's happening, then it's like really fun to see all the interactions. Yeah. The most fun part for me is whenever people tell me that they have met somebody or they're still dating somebody from meeting at a Find event, and that's just like full circle for me.
Can you share statistics on the amount of relationships that are going from Find?
I don't have that stat yet. I just created a form on my website, so we'll see how many people kind of fill that out over the course of the forever until
Yeah. I love that. Man, okay. I had another question that I asked that question.
What I can say is like for statistics wise, for speed dating, we have an average of 75% match rate. So if you mutually match with someone at speed dating and then you get their contact info after, we do have an average 75% rate on that every event.
I feel like that's pretty dang good. It
is really good. Yeah, there's typically 40 to 80 people at a speed dating event. So yeah, it just kind of varies on location and venue size.
Like 75% success rate on anything is pretty damn good. So.
I like it. I like to keep that number.
Most unexpected thing that's happened in the last 6 months doing this work?
I have made so many new friends, and it is awesome. I kind of expected just to be that host that, nobody interacts with, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, just being
You're
that
just there.
omniscient person. Yeah, I'm just there. And people are like, all right, this girl just runs the events. But it's so nice when people come up and talk to me, and then we also become social media friends, and I can like learn more about their lives that way. And I've made some really awesome friends throughout this journey.
Yeah. I love it. As we kind of wind down here and come to the back half of this conversation, you started by talking about Find happened because you love experiences. What's the origin or impetus for like experiences being so crucial to like Bo and like Bo's journey?
Yeah, I've always valued experiences in my own personal life. Like I would always travel is huge in my life. Like I love traveling and experiencing new cultures and countries. So every time that I go visit another country or travel, I like to see what is happening in their landscape. And I really value spending money on experiences versus, I don't know, I'm just thinking like a new car.
Yeah.
So yeah, just creating those environments where people are happy and just want to have a good time, because creating a space where people feel safe and are just looking to, meet other people and have a good time is really important to me. It's why I like going to events.
For sure.
And what I want to feel like whenever I go to a market or a festival or something, or even just like a small community event. I really want to help bring everything that I have experienced and like about events, and make sure to incorporate that into the Find events.
Yeah. I feel like I can feel the intentionality that comes through, not just in this conversation, but each time through like the social media posts and stuff that you share and the recaps of the events, like just seeing you do your thing, and then having seen you do your thing in other areas over the past year or 2 years or so since first got connected with you. I appreciate the intentionality, because I feel like we've lost a lot of intention when it comes to doing things. We do things to do it. And I feel like you do it because you want to pass through like the kind of feelings that you've had from great experiences, and you want other people to have to be able to tap into that.
Yes. I'm glad that shows. So yes,
for sure.
It's good.
You're knocking that one out of the park.
Excellent.
How do you, or what does Indianapolis mean to you, or how do you define Indianapolis?
Indianapolis is a big, small town, and that's what I really like about it. It's big enough where you have things to do. There's different people to meet. We have the amenities and resources of a big city, but the people make us feel like a small town in a good way. Like people aren't, like in your business in like the gossipy way, but it's like you can count on and rely on people, and people are generally very nice and supportive of everything. And I would not be where I am now if it wasn't for all the wonderful people I've met over living here the past 5 years.
I love it. And I would say the exact same thing about you. For some inside baseball, we have a AAPI focused, like young professionals group or professionals group. And I am really bad about setting up times for us to do our dinners and stuff. And yet the person who is at 10x busier than me is always the one that finds time to get that ball rolling. So I really appreciate that. Again, when I talk about intentionality, I think that's it. And I'm, as somebody who's like trying to be more intentional in everything that they do, you're a great model for doing all the things and then continuing to make time for the little stuff. So
thanks.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I'm so glad that you started that group, because I've been loving it.
I don't know what to call it. Asianapolis, I think is what
it's the current name.
Our name of the group. Okay, I got 2 more questions for you. You are a serial entrepreneur, I think. I think that's probably an appropriate descriptor. I don't know if you would take it, but I'm going to give it to you. For us being in Indy, for the young entrepreneur, young small business owner, somebody who's really wanting to get into that space, what advice do you want to give them to pursue that passion or whatever it might be?
Gotta have a lot of grit and problem-solving capabilities. Issues and things go wrong all the time, but being able to think about, not let that not let that discourage you, and to really be able to, all right, what can we do next? What we can do differently? And really opening up to other people about your struggles. people can't help you if they don't know what's wrong. They can't assist and provide advice if they think that everything's rainbows and butterflies. So being very vulnerable, talking about the ups and the downs so that you can lean on your community for support.
Love it. Be vulnerable. Great advice.
Be vulnerable.
Bo, thank you so much for coming through, especially on last minute, and sharing everything about what you're doing, especially for the single people here in Indianapolis. Last but not least, how do we find you? How do we find? How do we support y'all? How do we do all the things to help and amplify what you got going forward?
Biggest thing, if you are single, you have single friends, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Find Indianapolis. Yes, on that. And then my personal Instagram is It's Just Bo. And my name is just B-O, like body odor. But it's fine. My parents hate me. And I'm just kidding. They love me. But It's Just Bo is on my social. And I love, like, swipe up on things. I'll swipe up on your things. Like, I love interacting on social and then also in real life, like when I see you around town. It just kind of completes that circle, and happy to get coffee anytime. I love making new friends and stuff. So, yeah.
If you're a single person, make sure you go through and get to a Find event, because if you're not one of the 75% of people who finds a match, you'll find a friend in Bo.
Yes, I would love that. That was so cute. Way to go, Patrick. You do this for like a living. Let's go.
I know, right? Pay me more money, people that are watching this right now. Anyways, Bo, again, thank you so much. Definitely going to have you on for a longer conversation about a lot of different stuff. I know I caught you off guard here with this last minute conversation, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Absolutely. Everybody else, make sure you check out Bo, Find Indianapolis, everything in the show notes. For our stuff, conversationpiecePod.com for everything related to the show. Shout out to Life in Indy and the team over there for sponsoring this series. And until next time, I've been Patrick Armstrong. This has been Conversation Piece in the Open Door. See y'all soon.